I did it on purpose. I'm jumping out of here.
What is up, YouTube? It's Melt Metal Anthony. We are headed to do a repair for a transmission bracket. So you can see there's the picture of it. Put that up on the screen for you. For a new customer. We're here at the job site. The owner's a cool guy. He says I can film. So that's great. Where I started off here is I went and I checked out what we had going on in this truck. And here is the bracket right here. So it seems like it's just snapped in half. I've already taken a leather apron and kind of put it over some of the more sensitive areas in here. Hopefully I don't put a hole in any of them and end up having to buy this guy new airlines. Let me see if I can get up in there and show you guys. There's the culprit right there. So we need to take this bracket here, cut it off, make a new one and slam it back on. Here's the other side. I should be able to make that maybe an hour or less. Cutting that apart and re-welding it is going to be the real challenge. So we're going to start out by making our pattern. We're going to use the bracket they pulled off of the truck that was mounted to the transfer case. And we're going to do something pretty simple here because you want to keep it simple. I just need to take the old bracket, lay it on here, and line everything up, and then we should be good. 1 3/4 down. In hindsight, I shouldn't have cut this bracket right out of the center of this piece of metal. The reason I did that was because I thought I was going to run out of room with the mag drill, which obviously doesn't turn out to be true. As you can see, these annular bits and these mag drills, I mean, this is an indispensable tool if you're in this industry, because if you try to do that with really anything else, first of all, you ain't gonna get a straight hole, and second of all, it's gonna take you a damn year to drill one of these, whereas what, we do that in 2 minutes?
Nice, what you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, must have.
Expensive?
Yeah. About $1,000, and then the bits are about 200 each. So never ask why the mobile welder's so expensive. We've got our holes drilled and we've got most of our layout done. What we're gonna do now is just go ahead and get a width layout of this thing. They did it exactly top and bottom, the same dimensions. The only thing I'm really concerned about right now is the distance between here and here. I think this is correct, but if it's too short, we're gonna have problems. If it's too long, I can just cut it. So too long would be better. But I wanna double and triple check to make sure that from here to here, so that this hooks on the frame properly, is correct. Because if this doesn't hook on the frame properly, then these holes will not line up correctly. So basically, I'm gonna go back over there and take a measurement from the top of this hole to the top of the frame, and then make sure that I'm dead on here, and then again, take the measurement from here to here. 3 3/4, 1 1/4. I think we're fucking dead nuts already. We're off just 1/8 of an inch. So we just need to drop this line up 1/8 of an inch, and then I think we should be good. I'm gonna start cutting that one first, because if I destroy that one, it doesn't really matter. This one does matter, so I can get my torch dialed in using the settings, or find my settings using the brackets already in the truck. That's the smart way to do it, I hope. So I'm heating it up here just to get the paint flaked. Then I blast it off with a couple of pumps of the oxygen. Now I'm preheating it, and now I'm starting to cut it.
I can get one of these motherfuckers to come over here and help you.
Oh no, I don't. It's not helping. You just need to knock this.
Oh, you got it off?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I didn't think anybody was going to do it.
Yeah, you know, a lot of these guys are too fat for this job.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can fit in a lot of places a lot of people can't. A lot more comfortably, usually. This part was a little nerve-wracking because I had to blow the sparks over where the apron was, covering the airline. And now I'm just washing a little bit more material away with the torch. All right, let's see how we did. Here's the piece we cut. That's pretty good for hanging inside there and having to cut the way I had to cut. There we go. Not too bad. All right. Let's whip the grinder out, prep that out, and then we're gonna make our bracket, drop it in and weld it in. You can kind of see what I got done torching this way. This was by far the most challenging part of this job, up to this point at least. Holding this grinder up in the air, it was really wearing my shoulders out, and it was basically grinding by braille. So every once in a while I would have to stop, stick my hand up there, feel around, see what I felt, and then go ahead and get back to grinding. You gotta cut it out, you can't just weld over a crack because it'll... This is turning out to be kind of a rough one. Kind of expected that though. Hey, if you guys know of a better way to take off, you know, when you have around 1/4 of an inch left from your torch cut, go ahead and leave in the comments below. Sometimes I'll take a flat, like a cutting disc, and I'll just make notches in it, and that seems to make the grinding go a little faster. I chose not to do that today, just to kind of see what the difference in time was. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a little beat up on this one. The phone's also trying to die on me, of course. So I gotta try to see if I can't get another extension cord out here and plug you guys in, so that way I can film this whole thing out. When they get back, I'm gonna have them move the transfer case and see if that will help me out a little bit. I think I'm paying my dues right now with the grinding, because it always seems like on jobs like this, you always gotta pay your dues. But let's see where this goes. So I made 2 mistakes. I should have cut this before I started grinding, because my hands are not nearly as steady as they would be after I used that grinder. And I also should have taken my time and preheated this thing better, as you can see by how sloppy my cuts are coming out. I mean, they're not awful, it's passable, but I know I could definitely do a better job. So not the best, not the worst, you know. It's definitely not the best torch job I ever did, but it's definitely not the worst one I ever did either. So hopefully this is just gonna work out golden, and we just place this in there and then weld her up, be done. All right guys, so I have the support piece traced out on my new piece of steel, well, new to me. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out with the torch, clean it up a little bit. Try to make sure these sides and this side are as flush as possible. The other 2 sides don't really matter. And then we're gonna get ready to go ahead and weld this thing, install. I've got him putting the transfer case right back into place and putting the bracket back on, so I can bolt it on and I can tack weld it in place. We can remove the transfer case, and then I can be assured that the bracket is straight, square, and plumb, and it's where it needs to be. I took my time on this one and preheated it a lot better than I did the first one. So I went to start my welder, and unfortunately I left the switch on, so these guys were cool enough to let me use their jump box. So as soon as this thing starts, I'm gonna get to welding. So we've got it in position. We know that it's gonna weld up, right? I'm hoping this just goes smoothly. I'm gonna do my best to try to get you guys an angle of this, but being in tight quarters it is, it's not easy. So I hope this works out. Well, guys, unfortunately, the phone died right after this point. I really didn't get any pictures of this thing because, like I said, my phone was dead. That's how I film, I shoot everything. So it is what it is. But we successfully got the bracket back into place. Everything was aligned, and they had this truck back on the road the very next day. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like what you saw here, like, subscribe, share, do the whole nine. All right? I'll catch you next time.